Welcome to slightly shambolic SMMT reviews. Here we are at Oakley Hall near Bainstoke in Hampshire for the SMMT South Drive Day. I'm very pleased to be accompanied by Ben from Classic Retro Mod and also Mr. Bill from the Fuel Power channel in this 2022 Volvo C40 Recharge Twin. This is the crazy 408 brake horsepower model which retails for around £60,000. I think it's something like 58. This has a 78 kilowatt hour battery, and the range on this is crazy. It's 273 miles on WLTP cycle. It's based on the XC40, but unlike the XC40, this has no combustion equivalent. It is only available, at least in this country, in this electric car. It has this sort of coupe SUV styling with this. 0 to 60 in this car takes 4.7 seconds, which is absolutely and utterly insane. There are different driving modes and things. At the moment we're in the one pedal mode, which I quite like, and the steering feel is set to firm. Let's go, shall we, and see what we can do. Oh my gosh. No real noise, but just loads and loads of torque. A nice steering feel, although I know it's electric, so you know, some people who like hydraulic steering, I'm afraid that's not the way it goes these days, especially with these electric cars. But just threading it through these little country roads in Hampshire, it feels really good. There is a front-wheel drive model available as well with 231 horsepower, but it's only got one motor. That's a 69 kilowatt hour battery. That only costs about £47,000. If you're thinking £58,000 or thereabouts is a little bit too much for me, then you can just go for the lower powered model, and certainly I don't need 408 horsepower every day. It's kind of nice, it's good fun, but I think just the standard model would be fine for me. What's amazing is just how kind of easy and quite nimble this car feels for one of these modern SUVs. Right, let's just park up here and take a look at this car in a bit more detail. So as you can see, we've still got the Force Hammer lights on. If I lock the car though, those will probably turn off. Key's a bit weird, isn't it? Buttons are on there and sort of there. Okay, that's off. Just open it up again so I can get in a little bit later on. So all round parking zones as you'd expect. No grille on this car because you don't need one. It's an electric car. Quite large alloy wheels on this. The ride's not too bad, to be honest. I don't think I'd necessarily want to have wheels this big on my car. It's about 20 inches on this one. Bear in mind this is a 8A2 model. For 2023 one will soon be out. Mr. Bill's just taking some sort of shots of B-roll for me, which is nice. One thing I'm a little bit concerned about, I always say with these type of cars, Renault Arcana's the same, MG4's the same, there's no rear wiper on this. Obviously I think you do get that on the XC40 version, so that's okay. You can also tow with this, which is fantastic. Let's open up the boot, shall we? Oh, it's an electric boot. Oh, and it's got dividers. Fantastic. Look at this. So, adjustable height boot floor. Obviously, you just take that out if you want. You put all your charging cables and things down there. It's not the biggest boot I've seen for a car of this class, but it's still pretty big. And then, yeah, we've got the electric boot release there. I really like this colour, by the way. It reminds me of sort of mid-90s Volvo colours, actually. It's quite a subtle colour, which is nice. So if we just get in here, it's quite easy to get in and out. Nice big wide opening doors. I'm not sure, I don't think this is real leather. I think this is artificial leather on here. But completely upholstered door card, which is nice to see. Not too much soft touch plastic. Electric seats, of course. Does feel everything very high quality, and you know, if you're spending 60 grand on a car, then I think you'd probably want that. So yeah, the rear boot's 413 litres. There's actually a front boot in this as well, which we'll have a look at in a bit. It's about 31 litres. Here's the gear lever. Not many positions here at all. Obviously it's an electric car, so you don't need many anyway. There's no start-stop button actually in this car. It's been covered up. That's where it would be, but you get in and drive it. USB-C charging points down here. Nice and simple to operate some of the controls without using the touchscreen. There's the heating and ventilation down there. But we'll just go into that and see what we can do. Ooh, clean zone. Excellent. Dual zone climate, of course. This is a portrait style system. Bearing in mind, I've just spoken to a lot of people from Volvo UK, and this is the now 2022 system. There's a 2023 system coming in, which will have Google Maps actually built into it then. This is slightly still based on the older system that was in the original XC40s, but it's simple enough to use. It's got everything that you need, really. 150 mile range at the moment. Yeah, 273 miles WLTP. The amount of torque in here is ridiculous. 606 Newton meters of torque. It's just totally, utterly crazy. No Apple CarPlay though in this. It's just something to bear in mind. So we got the maps in there as well. Ooh, look at that. That's beautiful, isn't it? Look at that. Shows you exactly where we are and everything. So yeah, heated seats. I think you can have a heated steering wheel as well. There you go. Heated seats, heated steering wheel. That's just really simple to use. If I close the door, just pause the video a second, we'll see if we can get this driver's display up as well. So there we go, got the trip computer there. Don't need to reset that in a moment. I don't know what else you can do. Not a lot. If I turn it on by just putting it into drive, will this bring up more stuff? There we go. Yes, okay, so we're going to have to turn that off, I'm afraid. We can't have any copyright infringement on this channel, viewers. So that's all the sort of Google Maps on there. This is amazing. I thought you said it didn't have Google Maps integration on it, but it just seems to have it anyway. There's no smartphone not connected to this. That's fantastic. Whether you like this or you don't, it's up to you, really. I thought this was an Apple CarPlay, but it says Apple CarPlay there as well. Well, you learn something new every day, don't you, viewers? What a range assistant does. Oh, there we go. So we can have a range optimizer and things like that. See, we don't want to turn that on because this isn't my car. 9 kilowatt hours per 100 miles. I can't convert that to miles per kilowatt hour in my head, I'm afraid. See if my secret mission documents go in the glove box. This sort of Volvo pack, will just take that out. No, that's not going in. It's such a shame, viewers. I was looking to really like this car, but we've had a major failure there, unfortunately. However, we do have a nice panoramic roof. That's very agreeable. Also, these stalks, automatic lights and automatic wipers, of course, feel very nice. So does the steering wheel. It just probably be better for me in a different colour. I think you can get other colours for the interior than this. And this is just maybe a little bit too sort of bland for me. Prefer something a little bit more maybe colourful like I've seen on the XC40s, but it's a minor criticism really. All the button switches are down there. Callaghan sound system, which you know, expect that at whatever price this car is, about £58,000. Then there's a frameless mirror in there. It does feel very nicely put together. It's definitely on a par with something like an Audi or a BMW, I feel. Right, let's have a look at the back. And it's very nice in here too. This coupe roofline does eat into the headroom a little bit, but once you're actually inside here, even with this massive panoramic roof, it's not too bad. Although I think anyone over 6 foot might struggle a bit, because I'm 5'11", I could feel my head actually brushing this part of the roof here. So that might be a little bit of a concern. Maybe go for the standard XC40 if that's going to be a problem for you. So we've got 2 more USB-C ports down there. We've got heated rear seats. Very nice, viewers. Also 2 air vents here for the rear passengers. Little nets on the back of here. Legroom's very, very good actually. That's absolutely fine. It's just maybe the headroom that's not so good. Don't know what this sort of fabric is on these doors. It looks more like the sort of fabric that's on my 2003 Rover 45 V6 somehow, than something I'd expect in 2022, but maybe I'll change that for the next model year, I don't know. Certainly the materials feel good. Soft touch rear door tops, very, very nice, and a place to put bottles and things. So someone's thought about the interior of this car very much, even down to the fact the Isofix covers here are actually hinged so that you can not break them off like in some cars and lose them. Nice rear armrest there. I like these kind of classic style Volvo rear headrests, although that rear window is tiny. That's not going to be very good when trying to park. You better use a reversing camera, which of course comes as standard. Okay, let's have a look at the front boot or throat. Well, viewers, not a lot to see here really, is there? It's just one big plastic cover, literally. Let's just open up the front boot though and see what's in here, or frunk as they say in America and some other places. The charging cables can actually go in there. It's about 31 litres of space, which is pretty good. I imagine you'd have to take that out or something to do any more maintenance on this, but the majority of people I don't think are going to worry too much about that. There's windscreen washer fluid, and that's it. That's all we have. Right, let's go for another spin, shall we, with our air woofer technology. So we're on our way back to Berkeley Hall. Ben just pointed out that he's 3 inches taller than me, 6'2", and actually he's got quite good headroom, so obviously it's just me not being in the right position. Just for power, it's just effortless in this, like 408 horsepower. It's totally, utterly effortless, just no bother. Doesn't even notice the hill. And actually it's not that intimidating to drive. I've driven a 335 brake horsepower Toyota Supra today, and this feels significantly less threatening to drive. Obviously it's an electric car, so it would be, but it's so easy. One thing you've got to bear in mind with this, I think, is just be very careful that you don't go too fast. Clearly we've got traffic sign recognition here, but it tells me what the speed limit is, and I recommend you very much use that if you don't want to get loads of speeding tickets and your license taken away in your C40 twin motor recharge. But one problem I would say about this car, it's something that someone else has said who drove one of these earlier in the year, is that Volvo is also part of the same automotive group that makes Polestar, and the Polestar 2 is quite similar in price to this and has very much a very similar drivetrain, and yet that is just like a more luxurious and higher position model in the market rather than this. But it depends what you want. The lower powered model is obviously a little bit cheaper, about £47,000, as opposed to this this one just under 60. So depends what you want really. But I very much enjoyed this. I'm a big fan of the older Volvo models because I grew up with them, and if this is the direction that Volvo is heading in into the mid-2020s, then I think it will be very good for them. Anyway, thank you ever so much indeed once again for watching this episode of Slightly Shambolic SMMT reviews. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video and leave a comment below. And we'll see you again shortly for more less than competent attempts at videos.